What's up, y'all? I'm Ron from Around Our Hype. Welcome to The Art of Creating Yourself, a place where artists and creators alike share their unique perspective on how they create themselves every day. Daly City's finest, Mikey Vee. How you doing today?
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm Mikey Vee. I'm a rapper, songwriter, producer, and I'm trying to be a director. Kind
Okay,
of
okay.
stuff. Yeah, and I'm from Daly City, and
Okay,
yeah, you guys probably gonna be hearing about me soon. I've been on a roll right now, so yeah, that's about
okay,
it.
okay. Rapper, producer, director to be out of Daly City, California. Daly City stand up one time, old stomping grounds.
That's cool.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on.
For
I
sure,
think
man. Happy to be here.
yeah, no, it's all love. You're dropping soon. You're dropping
Yep.
soon, if not already, depending on release dates and politics. But we
Hmm.
have a song called "The Artist," right? So the
Yes.
this platform is called "The Art of Creating Yourself." So we are going to talk about the art of creating the artist.
Hmm.
So first question: what do you think makes someone an artist?
Um, my meaning of like artistry and stuff, I mean, I asked that question in the song, is the tangible expression of self.
Mm,
And it's something that it's like putting your like part of you, your soul in and making it real. It's like manifestation.
mm,
It's like exactly what the definition of that is. And it's putting that out into other people's hearts and like sharing it. You know? That's what art
mm.
is. Yeah.
Okay, so the act of executing on an idea that,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
executing on something you think.
Having a vision, seeing it through, executing it, and then I was gonna say that art isn't really art unless you share it, but I don't think that's true actually.
Mm.
That's not true. But
Yeah,
I
that's
encourage
interesting.
people to think that way. You
Yeah,
know, you know what I mean?
yeah. You could be an artist, and in my opinion, you can be an artist and no one know you're an artist, right?
Mm,
Um, you can almost create in silence. Like
yeah.
you can almost have things that you work on, or things that ideas that you execute. Maybe not on a public scale, but on like an intimate, a
Hmm.
few homies or a few family members, or even like a one individual scale, and be
Yeah.
like, to me, I organize marbles into these giant sculptures or these mini sculptures or
Yeah.
whatever, and to me that's art, and nobody
Yeah.
ever sees them because they're in the back of my closet behind things you wouldn't even need on a day-to-day, year-to-year basis, but that
Exactly.
might be art to me, right?
And
So I
that's the
guess.
thing. It's like there's no real definition for it. You know what I mean? Because like just like how when you see a painting, it's like someone's gonna
Mhm.
gonna interpret it differently. Like it's the same exact thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all
Uh, uh,
personal and intimate.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, the relationship of art is always personal, always intimate.
Hmm.
So I think, to me, two things that make an artist are creativity, and something that I've been thinking about lately is taste, right?
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes. I'm glad you said that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll get to taste later, but
Yeah.
from a creativity standpoint, how do you stay motivated and inspired in your work, especially through like times where you might be like questioning, not your abilities, but questioning the art, and maybe a
Hmm.
little bit of burnout.
So for me, um, I think one aspect of an artist that's like true is perfectionism and sensitivity.
Mm,
And I think that like every artist is in a way really sensitive about their own art, right?
mm-hmm,
Like you hear anybody like you make fun of somebody's like even if they're like high up there and you say some shit about somebody's song or their paintings, like they
mm-hmm.
might not show it, but it's gonna hurt a little bit.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah.
Because it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like a part of you, and it's like somebody's denying a part of your soul. You know what I mean? You're like part of you because inspiration you can't really go looking for it, right?
Yeah.
It comes organically, and like what's really cool is like the this whole project came about really organically. I was
Mm,
honestly about to quit
mm,
music, like I was not
mm,
gonna do it, and then I got this inspiration from a video game. I'm not really gonna get into that later because that's for
yeah.
the album.
Yeah.
Um, we got inspiration from a video game that made me rethink a lot of things, and like like and COVID and everything kind of like changed things, and like made me think like, oh, I should really maybe I should just do it, because I'd rather live with failure than regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then so I think that inspires me, and also my nephew. I just got a nephew. My sister just had a baby, and his name is
Congrats.
Mason. And he's the cutest baby ever. And he, like, he's on my phone, bro. He's on my like my
Is your wallpaper
like
screensaver?
thing, my wallpaper. I don't know if you can see it, but it's him crying. You can't see it.
Okay.
There's a picture of him crying, and I think it's like hella funny. But yeah, man, that's what inspires me, and I think it's I truly believe you can find inspiration everywhere if you're just open to it, if you're open to receiving it, you know.
Yeah, I think like you said, something important. Inspiration isn't something that you can just manifest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's not something that
It's
it's something that's dormant within. It comes from within, but it's not something that you can just call on at any given second. Like you can't, like, oh, I'm feeling burnt out, or I'm feeling, I'm questioning my abilities, or questioning if I even like this anymore. I can't just be okay with something, or motivate myself to the next step without an external trigger, right?
Exactly.
Something has to light a spark.
Light a spark.
Yeah. Like,
you know
okay,
what Pharrell
now
said?
What'd he say?
You know that Pharrell thing, what he said is like the universe is a library of ideas, and you're just checking them out.
Yeah.
And like there's no such thing as an original idea, and I truly believe that. And
yeah,
I think that has a part to play as like we're not looking for it, but like I said, you have to be open to receiving it. You know what I mean? Because they're everywhere, but you just have to have your hand out.
Yeah, and I like the reformation of ideas. Like I like to see things that have been done before, reformatted it from like a different perspective, or maybe a different medium or something like that, and continuing the evolution of a single thing. I love new ideas. I love ideas that might seem new because they come from so many different perspectives or new mediums. But I love to see like, all right, you did this. It's already been done. Everybody knows it's documented. Let's see if you can elevate it, right?
Yeah.
Through something new. I love that too.
Yeah. But not just like a cover.
We could do a whole podcast on how much I don't like covers, but I don't hate covers.
Honestly, bro,
I like when people again different perspectives, but
it's I like so when they do it well.
Okay.
But I like it when they can actually pull it off and change it, and make it their own. That's when it's different.
Like add their own twist, their own.
Yeah. Like there was a song. Oh, it was Poetic Justice, but done by a singer. I think it was Ella. It wasn't LMA. It was I forgot who, but it was someone really good, and they just did a R&B rendition of it. And it was amazing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I don't know. I just feel like there are so many original ideas from somebody's perspective, and again, when we go into the business side and stuff like that, I understand why people do covers. I just think that covers are slightly less original than some of the art that I would like to consume. I love to hear you give an original story instead of telling somebody else's story in your way, because it's literally already been written. It's literally
sampling is different.
Sampling is different. That's more homage. That's more homage, and that's a discussion in which it's more progressing art through appreciating it, right?
And that's a good way to do it. That's exactly the way to say it.
Yeah, and if we want to get deeper on that, like part of the discussion, like I think sampling has just hip hop is sampled like jazz.
Hip hop is all about sampling.
And it's just a recreation of different mediums of music and different sounds, and now storytelling has evolved through just one sound that just got stacked upon each other 150 times and just sampled each other. So that
and it's so funny how like even though hip hop was built on sampling and copying, it's the most original genre. If I think so, right?
Yeah,
Because you can do anything, you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's like, there's a tree and there's the million branches, and
yeah,
branches just keep
exactly.
getting spun out for this tree. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's forever
People making
evolving.
up genres and shit, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of
Yeah,
it's outside music, like our outside music. I would say like graffiti.
yeah,
Graffiti is hip hop to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's not music, but it's still hip hop. It's still
yeah.
culture. And I don't know how
Exactly.
many different mediums you can say that about.
Yeah,
So
dancing,
dancing, like
etc.
yeah, there's just so many different mediums that hip hop just it has evolved from and is still evolving from.
Yeah.
Um, so shout out to the originality that just continues to come up.
Hmm.
And to bring kind of back to you, being an artist, I know sometimes that we were talking about you might not feel always motivated or you might not feel always inspired. Um,
Uh-huh.
do you ever deal with maybe imposter syndrome in your work?
Oh,
And
dude, I
thinking
gotta.
that
I'm thinking. I'm making a song about imposter syndrome. It's
I think
like
it's something that comes up a lot. Yeah, so talk about it.
I have this line in one of my songs. It's like my biggest fear is getting exposed for not being the man that I think I'm supposed to be, or something
Mm,
like that.
mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it's all in your head. But it's at the same time, it's like just because somebody says it's all in your head doesn't mean it's an easy switch.
no,
You know, that's not how it works. Um, Imposter syndrome I've had all through my life, and
mm,
that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this.
mm,
And I mean, like like the term "fake it till you make it." Sometimes that's true.
yeah,
Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it and prove and convince yourself that you are good enough, even if you don't. If you don't really think so, you have to keep telling yourself that until it
mm,
becomes real.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's something I'm learning. And like trust me, like I might be a rapper, bro. I might be like going up on a stage and shit and like putting on myself out there, but I'm like one of the most insecure people you'll ever meet, bro. Like I am like super self-conscious about my shit, like about how I look, my image, everything, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
but like this project is all about proving to myself and proving to myself that like even if I'm afraid, I can um I'm not going to let it stop me,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
something important you bring up is just because you're an artist and a rapper, like doesn't mean you don't deal with imposter syndrome. I
Yeah.
think some of
For
the
sure.
people, in our society,
That's just toxic masculinity, bro.
yeah, no, yeah, some of the people in our society, especially, I'm not going to say you specifically as a rapper, but a lot of
Yeah,
rappers or a lot of people
specifically
who do
you.
a lot of performances,
Yeah.
those are the people that are like sometimes struggling the most,
Yeah.
with like, oh, I don't know if I'm him. Like
Hmm.
I go up and like I'm doing these. I heard somebody shout out to Ego Sound. He said when I first started, I used to have like crazy anxiety about
Hmm.
going up and doing shows and performing. But now they're kind of like therapy sessions,
Mm.
right? Like now he's in performed so much that through all of his shots,
Oh.
like all of his reps,
You can
he
do the reps.
now
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
looks at it. Yeah, he's now looked at
Yeah.
it different. Like now I'm just going out there and spilling my art,
That's
telling my
crazy.
soul.
I've
Like I'm no longer an imposter because I'm just living through it now. Instead of trying to
yeah.
live through it, I'm literally just living through it.
You know
So
what's crazy is like
it's
I
crazy.
started feeling the same way recently actually because like I
Mm,
was because I used to perform a lot back in the day.
mm-hmm,
I performed on
mm-hmm,
Market Street in a parade. I
mm,
performed like in LA like at shows and stuff. Um but like after a while like after I stopped, I really got so like insecure about it and I got really subconscious like oh
mm,
how would I ever get back into it like because it was hard to do that in the first place. And then
yeah.
I started recently I started doing shows again, and
Mm,
at first it was like really hard, and but then I just kept like doing the reps, putting the reps in, and then eventually got to a point where like I did one open mic recently. um I did it randomly, like I was studying at a cafe, and then I saw the open mic across the street. I was like, fuck it, it's in half an hour, I'm gonna do it right now. So
yeah.
I went over there, I did it, and then I felt like um I felt comfortable, and I felt
Mm,
like damn, I do love this shit, you know. Because
Yeah.
it's like, why else would I be doing this? You know what I mean?
Why would
Like,
you
there's
put
got to be
yourself through
something
that?
part of in me that
Yeah.
loves this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it loves to get on stage. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
but in person, bro, I'm like awkward. You know what I mean? But like, but like on stage, I can kill it. I know I can. You know?
Yeah. And that's part of what this platform is supposed to do. It's kind of trying to unmask the facade of what
Yeah.
we see
Yeah.
a lot on social media, because it's hard not to try to look perfect on social media. Like, you
Yeah.
want to, not perfect, but you want to look your best when you're posting.
You want to be
Right?
good
You
enough.
want to, yeah. You're like, I'm trying to hit this invisible metric, whatever that is to me. I want to look like this.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about the ego, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
now I'm learning to try to deflate my ego or control it. Or it's not so
Mm-hmm.
much about controlling it, but letting it lead me to the right places.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah. I mean, one of the things I promised myself is that I'm gonna do my best with this project to be the most true to myself. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm making songs that I feel like I really want to make, and not for other people. I mean, of course, I still think about it when I'm releasing it, and like when I'm making, I still
Mm-hmm.
think about these things. But like as a whole, I'm saying what I want to say, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like making the sounds that I want to make. You know what I mean? And it's like, um, I'm putting my deepest fears on this project. You know what I mean? I'm like
Mm-hmm.
talking about it and everything. So this is like, this project is me. You know, like my magnum opus, like the culmination of my life. To be honest, you know what I mean? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, they say like hip hop specifically. I don't know if this is true for other genres, but like usually your first album is sometimes your best album, like 50%
Yeah.
of the time, because you've
I'm
had
okay
your
with that.
whole life. Yeah, you've had your
Yeah.
whole life to live up to this point, and then like, oh, like what
I,
happens
I'm
after this?
I'm treating it like it's gonna be my last.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm not even thinking about the next project. I mean, I am a
Mm.
little,
Uh huh.
but I put everything into this. Like
Mm.
and yeah, I'm not even thinking about the next one. Yeah, I'm just thinking about this one.
Yeah.
You know,
Almost like there's no plan B album. Like, I gotta make sure I
I
say
know.
everything on
Yeah,
this album because
like this one's
I,
gotta make it. This one's
yeah,
gotta make it. You know.
because there is no plan B album. Like, this is
Yeah.
the plan A B C D E F G album. Like, I gotta
Exactly.
make sure I spill
Exactly.
my heart on this.
Yeah.
So I
And I think
rock
you
with
gotta
that.
think like that. You know.
Mm,
You know, and
yeah.
not think so much about like the future.
Mm,
You know.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
spoke a little bit about it earlier, but was there a specific like turning point, like a specific like day or week and month, whatever, you can be like, okay, this is what I drew inspiration from. Like, no, I gotta do this now. I've been
Mm.
sidestepping, I've been flirting with this idea, I've been talking to it, we went out on a couple of dates, but no, like, I gotta do this now. Was there a specific moment of inspiration?
I think when I saw the video and I saw the potential,
Yeah.
because I never see myself on camera like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I never really imagined myself as that person. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But when I saw it
Mm-hmm.
there, I was like, I don't recognize this guy. You know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
yo, this me.
yeah, yeah. And then it was like kind of like an out of body thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's all like, wow, if I didn't know this guy, if I didn't know it was me, I would think that he could make it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I kind of thought that like, man, I should really just go for it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just have more ideas and more stuff that just came out after that, and I'm planning out like more videos and even crazier ones. And yeah, man, it's yeah, that's it. That's that.
No,
Yeah.
that's fire. That's fire. You've almost inspired yourself through collaboration, almost, like, like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. We were talking a little bit earlier. Like, for those who don't know, Jerome's a god. Like, let's just call him what he is. He's no
He's a
more
goat.
man. Yeah, like
He's
I've
no
seen
more
him.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's no mere
I've seen
man.
him evolve over these last now 5 years. It's almost been that I saw his first music video from start to finish, and now I just see what he's doing, and it's amazing, right? It's amazing what the storytelling can do in like a director's point of view, and what it did for you. Like, you had the idea, you guys collaborated on the idea, and co-directed the idea, and now it's like, oh, this is so far from what I thought I was going to look like, that now I've inspired myself, and now I have this much more confidence.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
that's just crazy.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think one of the main inspirations that comes from people. You know, it's like comes from people you meet, even like random conversations you have with like. So I've been trying to my best to have a conversation with someone new, like every once in a while, like every week. You know what I mean? Like that's why I go to like coffee shops and stuff like that while I work, and then try to have a conversation with people. Also because I know that if I don't, I fall into like this mode of like being socially anxious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have to keep doing the reps.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get inspiration from like the most random people. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of perspectives, right? Like 8 billion perspectives on this earth, and
That's
you
crazy,
don't know
right?
which one you live in, like which one you're
And they're all
currently living.
different.
Yeah, they're all
That's
at least
crazy.
slightly different. I like to believe
Yeah.
that there's a Ron in some multiverse,
Yeah.
some timeline that might
Yeah.
be like 99.9% similar
Yeah.
to me, and I know I'll never
But
meet
just
him.
in this world, though,
Yeah.
there's like no one like you. You know, there isn't.
No,
You know,
no.
so that's crazy.
The possibilities of that is just theoretically almost impossible. Just for
Yeah.
experiences and physical characteristics just to line up perfectly. That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. But
that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, you think about how much one person can do, and then like, you know, if there were no rules to this thing we call life, you know what I mean? Then it's crazy what could actually happen.
Yeah. Infinite possibilities. But
wild. Getting into quantum physics now.
Yeah. We're gonna bring it back to a little bit of this art thing that we was talking about. I mentioned that the second part of what I think makes like an artist is taste, right? And what I like to do,
I always say that.
Yeah, I like to think about like different things that I see in art or I see in culture and bring them back to the podcast, the platform. And something I've been thinking about recently is taste, like the ability for
to know what's
specifically an artist to be like, that sound, that look, that feel is what I'm here to do. I'm curating taste. Like
artists are just tastemakers.
Exactly. I don't know if you know Rick Rubin, like the legendary
for sure.
Legendary producer. He was trolling. I don't know. I think he did a really good job trolling when they asked him.
Oh, I saw that recently.
Why are you famous? What do you do? And he's like, like people like my opinion. Basically, the whole summarized thing.
But it's true.
I have no technical ability. People like my opinion.
It's so true, though.
Lying a little bit, but I know what he was saying. Taste is valuable. Taste is valuable. So, I mean, are there any particular ideas or themes around taste that kind of inspire you as an artist?
I'd like to think that I have good taste because of the fact that I've tried a lot of different shit. So there's this book that I read called Range. It's a neuroscience book, and it's about like so you know, like there's Tiger Woods who spent his whole life learning golf, right? Yeah. He spent since he was a kid, he was trained to play golf. Became a world champion or whatever you call it, golf people, right?
You got one of them gold coats hanging.
Like gold coats, exactly. Adam Sandler and shit, you know. But like, there's also Roger Federer, right? And he is same level, but in a different sport, tennis. He spent most of his life doing other things. He's played other sports. He didn't even start training in tennis until he was like in his 20s.
So he wasn't a protege almost.
Yeah, he wasn't a protege. Okay. He just tried a bunch of different shit. Like he played basketball, football, all that. But they're at the same level and shorter amount of time. And that's because of the fact that he has range and he created his life based on versatility and diversity, you know? So it's like I really resonate with that whole idea. I like to think of myself as a Renaissance man. I do a lot of things. I've done a lot of different things. And like for example, I've made a lot of different songs. Like I don't know if you ever seen my Spotify. I'm honestly ashamed of some of the songs that I put out, just because it's like I was trying. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, I made like this song about boba for my girlfriend before, and I
Okay.
was trying to get free boba from this from sponsorships and shit. You know what I mean? So I made a
Okay.
whole music video and everything. But I be
Yeah.
private. I put that shit on private now, bro. Yeah, I
That
look
shit did
back. I was
not
like,
exist.
why did I do this? You know what I mean? Yeah, dude.
No.
But yeah, but like that taught me,
Mm.
doing things like that taught me that like, oh, this doesn't work, or
Mm.
you know, like I actually resonate towards this kind of style better. And then what it really taught me is that I'd rather go back to my roots because like I started with
Mm-hmm.
poetry. I started with
Mm.
poetry and I started with open mics. So
Okay.
I'm writing an album that's based mostly in like a lot of poetry and a lot of emotion and a lot of heartfelt stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, not really any pop stuff on there. But there's
Okay.
bangers. You know what I mean? But it's like I feel like I have a good way of mixing conscious with mainstream
Mm.
and with like a good sound, and I think it comes like with the production and like the my flows and stuff like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean that's my opinion of it. Yeah, but
It brings up something we were just talking about of like the different perspective things where they could be at the same level, and
yeah,
something I might want to touch on later is longevity, right?
mm-hmm,
Them specifically, those two individuals, 25 plus years in the sport is crazy, but they
mm-hmm,
could be. There's different paths to success, right?
mm-hmm.
You could be a protege, and you can start basically from when you're 5 or 6 years old, like
Yeah,
Tiger Woods and his son almost. Like, I
mm-hmm.
don't know if you've seen his son golf, but
Yeah, his
his
son's
son's on
raw.
ESPN Sports Center. I don't know if
Yeah,
he's
he's
actually
raw.
any good, but he's Tiger Woods' son, right?
Yeah,
And then there's Roger Federer, you said has range, and it's
yeah,
just like a renaissance man. It's just I've done 100 different things, and I've
yeah,
landed on tennis, and now I'm
yeah,
really good at tennis.
yeah.
So it
It's because
speaks
you
to the
learn along the way. You know.
yeah. You
Yeah,
learn from different things that have nothing to do with tennis that you can
exactly.
apply to tennis. You know.
Yeah, like the sportsmanship, the athleticism, the
Mm,
you know the movement, you know, coordination, all that. It all like
yeah,
applies.
it's good. Are there any? What about art from specific artists or artworks that
Um,
inspire your
yeah,
taste?
I don't want to get into who. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna get into it because I'm probably gonna. I'm going to say it eventually. I'm gonna say it
Okay.
soon anyway.
Mm,
But this song, oh, let's just say this song at least is based
okay.
on a painting by Rembrandt.
Okay.
So if you look up the painting, the artist in his studio,
Mm,
and you look at my cover, it's a
yeah.
mimicry of it. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Then
You posted that today, right? You posted the almost like a vote for the album cover type thing
yeah,
today, right?
yeah. In truth, bro, like I'm gonna pick this one regardless, bro.
Yeah. I'm glad you say that though. I'm glad you say that because I like the other though. I did like the other one
Dude,
because it
okay,
looked
okay.
like almost the canvas was invisible and you were painting the wall.
I feel it.
I
I
was
feel
like,
it.
oh, how
I
fire
agree.
would that be? You know?
I agree. I really like your comment, honestly. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a good point. You know, but we are using that photo on my Spotify.
Oh, okay,
So that's
okay.
gonna be my Spotify, and it's on all my profile pics. But then this
Okay.
album artwork is
Okay.
gonna be different, you know. So I
Okay,
thought it was
okay.
a good mix, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I see that earlier today, and I was like, "Oh, okay." It looks like because I didn't see the canvas because it
This
blends in
one, yeah,
so well from that perspective until I saw the one of
yeah,
the comments. I
yeah,
was like, oh, someone was like, I don't know. Oh, you can't really see the canvas, so I want to go to the second picture. Then I looked back at the first
yeah.
picture. I was like, oh, there is the canvas, but it looks like you're geared up to
The whole
paint a
wall.
wall with like this
You know,
amount of
I didn't
paint.
think of
I was
that.
like, that's fire. That's great. There's no way you're painting a wall with this much paint. What?
Yeah.
What is it gonna do? Like
I
crazy. No.
I didn't think about it. There should be like a jug next to me or something, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like it's just like hip hop and egos. It's just like, oh, like first thing that came in my mind is like, what can he possibly do with 15, 20, 25 strokes of paint in that entire
Yeah.
wall? You're like,
But
oh, this looks
that's
like a
such a
good
good
picture.
idea. I should have done that, dude. That's a good one.
No, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. But
I like that. I
yeah,
like that. I'm gonna steal
yeah.
that.
No, yeah, take it. That idea is yours. That idea is yours.
Please, dude.
No credit needed. Something you said was again going back on the point of trying a bunch of different things. I had an interview today. Not for around our height, for personal job related
Oh,
activities.
nice.
But yeah,
How'd it go?
somebody asked me. Yeah, no, it went well. But the recruiter asked me, do you know what you want to do, like for a career, right? And I said, I know what I don't want to do. You know, I don't know what I
That's a
want to do
good way
because
to
I haven't
answer it.
tried everything yet, but I know what I don't want to do because I've done
Yeah.
some shit that I don't want to do, and I know I
Yeah.
don't want to do it again. Right. So it almost to your point, like you don't know what's out there
Until you
until
try.
you don't know what
Yeah.
you like until you try it. But more importantly, you don't know what you don't like
Mm-hmm.
until you try it. You need to stay
Mm-hmm.
away from the stuff that you know for 100% that you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
you can't do that until you try it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And I think
that's the
a
point
valuable
there.
lesson. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
That's
you
the
said
point
that to
there.
me in an interview, bro, and I was an interview, I would hire you, bro. That's a good answer. It's like so outside the box. No one would say that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
oh no, I like
Yeah.
sales. Do I like marketing? No, I know I don't like this, 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 and this. Don't feed me none of that. Like if this is what you're offering, respect to
I
you.
love outside the
Thank you,
box
but no
thinking.
thank you.
Yeah, I love that kind of thinking, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, are there any techniques or things that you're working on to
Oh,
maybe improve or do
I
something different or bigger or better?
videos. I definitely want to get better at
Okay.
making videos. I want to get better at marketing.
Okay.
In terms of making music, what do I want to do better? I want to get better at production because that's
Okay.
something new I'm
Big
doing.
one.
I've only started
Yeah.
producing recently. Um,
Okay.
so I use a lot of samples right now, but I want to get more. I want to get like a keyboard and MPC and everything, and
Okay.
start building more.
Yeah.
Because right now I just chop the samples up and I mix them up, but I feel like the way I do it is pretty
Yeah.
unique.
That's an art in itself too. Some
It
people like
is,
they're just samplers.
it is. But then
You
you can
know.
make some really dope shit on that. And yeah, I've made like some crazy shit for this project, like just off samples, bro, and it's insane.
Yeah.
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 Offline, I'm gonna show you some shit, bro. I'm gonna show
Okay,
you
yeah,
some
no,
shit.
yeah.
You
I'm
know what I
always
mean?
down for the leaks, the flex.
Yeah,
Like, I
man.
got that new Mikey Vee. You ain't got it yet, man. I
Yeah.
got to get
Don't talk
that.
to me about it, bro.
So, it's good.
Yeah,
It's good. In terms of upcoming collaborations, I know you said you got the album coming out, obviously
man.
the single out. Are there any upcoming collaborations or any other people's music that
Collaborations.
you're working on?
My homie, Rodney, Mr. No Name,
No
at
Name
Mr. No
Rod.
Name. He's fire.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
the bro. Like he's honestly like when I think about the handful of rappers that are in this area and stuff like that, I feel like I mean I'm a you gotta say this as a rapper basically, but I feel like I'm one of the best, and I feel
Okay.
like he's on par with me, and
Yeah.
because we've been working together for years, we've known each other for
Okay.
like we used to be in a group. We used to be in a group called Doyen.
Oh.
With my homie
Okay.
CJ. Shout out CJ. We used to be in
Okay.
this 3-man Filipino group, and we did like all these shows and stuff, and we made an album all based off Dragon Ball Z, and
Wow.
that shit was fire. But the production value, like the production value was like a little less than
Yeah.
what we do, but like some of my best verses on there, and
Yeah.
yeah, man, and so I told you I tried everything, bro. I tried hell
No,
shit.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah. I wasn't expecting you to pull out the DBZ
Dude.
inspired album.
I'm an anime fan for
that's
sure,
Easter
bro.
egg.
Yeah.
That's an Easter egg for real.
Yeah. So if you
Yeah.
hear this, just look out for that Doyen.
Yeah.
He might come back
Yeah.
one day,
Don't remember no verses off that because we might get recycled.
Yeah.
All verses
I
that we
I
heard.
honestly used the little parts of it.
Yeah, no, hey,
Yeah.
that's part of the game.
Yeah, it is.
Again,
Man.
being inspired by your own stuff. That's just
Mhm.
being inspired by your own stuff. But we got Mr. No Name Rod collabs coming up, so that's fire.
Mm.
That's fire.
Bayani in New York
Mhm.
City. He's the
Okay.
man. We recorded a song recently. He's coming. He's gonna drop it soon. Kaiser, Kaiser.
Okay. Yes,
We
the
got
guy.
a little. I think another collab coming up,
Mhm.
and then who else? I think that's it. Aside from my own project, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah.
When it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered by when you leave this earth?
The connections I made, and this project, honestly.
Okay.
At least for now. I mean, because I might make another one better next time, but at least for now, I have a big plan. I have a big vision for this project, and yeah, like this year, and yeah, so
Okay.
just that, yeah.
Connections you made in the project. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
And my
All right.
jokes.
Yeah. Hey, that boy Mikey was funny. Yeah, man. That boy Mikey was funny. No. Yeah. I'd like to thank you for coming on. Sharing your perspective.
Thank you for
You
having
know,
me, bro.
no, it's all love. It's all love. Thank you to everybody who watched, listened to any part of this recording podcast platform. Again, it's all love. It's all appreciation. Mikey V, is there anything you want to say to let the people go? Bitch, I'm an artist.
Yes, yes, that, and follow the fear. Follow the fear. Use it as a compass. Use it as a compass to know where to go. And look out for my album, man. It's coming. We got big plans.
Okay.
Even if things don't work out, we're gonna make it work somehow. Yeah.
Hey, that's art.
Yeah.
That's art.
All right, man.
Start,
thank you.
Might not finish, but it's all good. It's all good.
You gotta finish. It all finishes, but in different ways.
Yeah. Yep. It's all peace and it's all love. I'll see y'all next time, everybody.
Thank you, bro.